everybody, and welcome back to Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars, and our featured matchup of the day brings us to the map Pipeline Problems. And spawning on the top side of the map as the cyan scrin, we have Maze. And then sliding down to the bottom side of the map as the pink scrin, we have Bert. So it is going to be a scrin mirror, and on Pipeline Problems nonetheless. As we just adjust headset volume here, and let's take a look around the map and see what we have going on. So it is going to be crane starts for both sides, pretty standard here, especially in Tib Wars. You get those extractors out, very, very easy to drop, double extractor, and then sell one of them off, and just get so much eco here off of this fully grown blue field. It's a little bit different in Kane's Wrath, just due to the fact that those refineries are a touch more expensive, so it's a little bit more of a risk to sell those things off just to get out harvesters, but that blue tib more than pays for itself. So anyways, we're probably going to see a pretty lackluster early game here, as these guys are both scrin. Not a huge number of rush opportunities from these guys, so in this map, obviously, you do want to get your eco established on the blue field pretty quickly, and you guys can see that they're going for very much mirror builds here. As you can see, the extractor's been dropped very far in to the blue field, so that way they can get that eco running as fast as possible. And let's take a look and see. So I'm kind of interested to see how this matchup plays out, because I haven't seen a whole lot in the way of scrin mirrors on this map. I mean, obviously, due to the way that the base pushing works, we usually end up seeing a pretty massive engagement here in the middle of the map. But we haven't actually seen anybody try to go for any kind of a cheeky expansion point capture there, as we do see a lightning spike actually being brought in by Maze in the blue field here of Bert, which is going to cause problems for him. He's going to be forced to draft something in order to deal with this, otherwise he's going to potentially lose a harvester or two. In the meantime, we haven't seen any retaliation here from Bert, as it looks like Maze has pretty good map control here in terms of vision. We do see a seeker tank going straight up through the middle here for Bert. So actually a couple of seeker tanks, by the looks of it, going to be headed up through the center, and they should be looking to get some harassment done on the harvesters in the blue field. Actually forcing out a portal drop here. This lightning spike really causing some problems here for Bert, something that he doesn't want to deal with. Drafts two disintegrator squads, a third one coming out as well. I think that's a bit of an overreaction here from Bert, getting out 3 disintegrator squads just to deal with that lightning spike, but we won't worry about it too much. Harvester going to be pulled off the line there for Maze, and it looks like he's actually going to rally it to the green field. As we can see, that's already underway for Eco. We have a gravity stabilizer down here for Maze as well, so going to be going for those Storm Riders. And let's take a look and see what Bert is up to in the meantime. He has a gravity stabilizer as well. It looks like it's going to be Storm Riders for him, so almost exactly mirror builds here for both of these sides. We do see a fair number of Seeker tanks out, though, for Maze, which we haven't seen a lot out from Bert just yet. We see 4 rallying up to the middle of the map. It looks like the 2 that were here Harvester harassing are going to be cut off. Harvester very low on HP, but they are quite tanky here in Tiberium Wars, so more than likely going to be fine. Where are the Storm Riders? Storm Riders still being built here for Maze and still being built for Bert, and the base creep here coming in towards the center of the map for both sides. So again, not a whole lot in the way of pressure here in the early game, and that's kind of what we would expect from a scrin mirror. I mean, one of these guys could have gone really heavy Seeker and Gunwalker combination and really caused problems, but this map being so eco-friendly, I'm not terribly shocked to see that that's the case. But phase field actually being called in on the Harvesters to keep these guys alive, as we do see Maze actually responding to the Seeker tanks and the lightning spike threat here from Bert with those Storm Riders. They're going to manage to pick up a few kills there on their way out, and the Storm Riders here from Bert going to be reacting to this. Not sure if they're going to try to chase down the Storm Riders here of Maze. More than likely going to try to check and see if they can get a good engagement. Actually getting a pretty decent engagement there, bringing one of the Storm Riders pretty low on HP. They're going to be called back to base as they're going to look to get those repairs. Tripods coming out here for Maze, likely going to be the same case for Bert, as we do see that first tripod out for him. And probably going to be Devastator warships as well, because just so good in this situation, and that's exactly what it's going to be. Devastator warships out on the front lines now. We do see a single one of those Storm Riders going down. So the Devastator warship's going to be trying to sit here and dealing with his frontline force. However, Bert likely going to be losing this refinery. I don't see how he could possibly save it. However, the Storm Riders here from Maze are being camped by the Storm Riders from Bert. Going to be forcing out some anti-air drops here from Maze, and he's drafting those stasis chambers in order to get out those shock troopers, which have been upgraded with plasma disc launchers as well. So going to make them a little bit stronger against aircraft. However, Tripod's moving forward here with the assistance of the Devastator warships on the back line. Is going to look to deal with this base push coming in here from Maze. Storm Column goes down straight away. A couple of shock troopers here on the front line is going to be causing problems for these Annihilator Tripods, as there's really no way of dealing with them. Buzzer Hive being dropped on the front lines by Bert to try and deal with these guys, as they are going to cut and run. So Maze, not having a whole lot in the way of forces, actually gets his tech stasis chambered as well. Stasis shielded rather, and that's going to be cutting his production pretty heavily, as he was likely looking to produce tripods. It looks like that production is back underway now, but just going to be causing some problems here for Maze. In the meantime, did we see the stasis shield come in from Maze? I don't think we saw it. Not going to worry about it too much, but Storm Riders here from Bert still kicking around. Plasma missile batteries being dropped by Maze. Going to be able to beat these guys back. May actually pay for that with another one of these Storm Riders. Very low on HP, need to be careful, probably going to be rallied back to base. But it looks like it is going to slow down here a little bit. Bert going to be capitalizing on this time to use these Devastator warships to fire over the top with the defense here of these Buzzer Hives, keeping them safe from the Shock Trooper attacks. And in the meantime, we do have, looks like just a few buzzers here from Bert coming in to get some scouting information. A number of Disintegrator squads coming in as well, so going to be causing problems here for Maze. Going to be forcing out a Buzzer Hive at the very least, but we'll have to see. But anyways, Tripod's moving forward here for Bert, and he's going to push Maze right off of this field. There's really nothing he can do about it. He just doesn't really have anything to respond to these ground forces. Devastator warship coming very far forward, not quite sure what he's looking to fire on. It looks like he's going to actually try to stop this warp sphere here on the front lines. Not a bad idea, as it's going to... Whoa, 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 whoa! We have a mothership being dropped here by Maze. Is he going to force fire on the ground? That's the question. This is a little bit risky here from Maze, as I don't know if he's got build radius here to hit Bert's base, and Bert's actually selling up here. He's trying to keep his stuff out of range. Phase field comes out on the tripods, and that's interesting. I've never actually seen the phase field used to save units from the mothership shots. I didn't even know that worked, but I guess it makes sense. But anyways, we do have buzzers coming in here to kill off the shock troopers, and that's exactly what you need to do, because he can force fire on the shock troopers and then use the shock troopers to blink into the base of Bert, which could cause problems, at the very least force him to sell up. But that was a fantastic phase field here from Bert to actually keep that frontline force alive, despite that mothership getting off that shot there. Also forced Maze to sell up a lot of his base as a result. So Maze going to be keeping that mothership around. No real anti-air threat here from Bert to deal with it. Actually, we do see a shot coming off, so looking to base creep towards Bert. He actually does catch the forces here, and there is no possible phase field, and he gets a huge kill on this force. Wipes out all of them with a free shot there from Maze. So very, very nice effort there from Maze to take that stuff down. And I've never actually seen a mothership used in this fashion, where it's just kind of sitting on the front lines. And it looks like a Disintegrator squad going heroic here from Bert, and he's going to be liking that a lot. He should be able to clean up this harvester at the blue field. Not what Maze wants to be seeing at this stage in the game. Maze actually coming forward with some tripods, going to be looking to kill off the husks here from Bert. Very smart move, as he didn't want to send anything over there to try and capture those husks. Harvester at the blue Tiberium field does go down. We could actually see Bert try to use these Disintegrators to kill off the extractor, but he may just keep him around. He is going to turn and fire on that extractor. In the meantime, we do see Storm Riders being used to attack these Devastator warships on the front lines from Maze. Maze is going to be focusing down the frontline structures here from Bert. However, Mothership is on the move. May just be caught in the move order here for these tripods, though. But wouldn't be shocked if Maze decides to go for kind of an all-in push here, as he knows that Bert's ground army is pretty much non-existent. He wiped it out pretty much early on, and there's not a whole lot here from Bert to actually stop this. Tripods are going to move in pretty much uncontested, as we do only see a couple of Storm Riders flying over the top, but they're going to get shot down by the shock troopers. Let's take a look. It looks like Bert did manage to clean up that refinery there from Maze, but now Maze is just going to walk through this base. There's really nothing that Bert can do to stop him. A couple of tripods. Actually, there's 4 tripods here with Corruptor support. Could definitely hold the line against this. I didn't realize that he had 4 there. So 4 of those tripods are going to be enough. There are 3 here for Maze. 2 of them were stacked up, so he's going to be falling back. However, the Mothership is moving back into position. There's still no anti-air here from Bert to speak of. And does he still have his drone ship? He does still have his drone ship, so anti-air capability available here for Bert, but he's likely going to be forced to sell up his base as this Mothership starts to progress forward here, as he doesn't want to run the risk of losing his entire base to a one-shot here. Ground force from Bert has been cleaned up, so Maze coming out way on top in that fight. And again, Maze continuing to push forward with this Mothership. No anti-air threat here from Bert. Likely starved out of economy at this stage. Sells up his tier 3, realizing that there wasn't going to be really anything he could do with it. Drops a plasma missile battery here to try to deal with this Mothership. It's going to take a long time without shard launchers to try to kill that thing off. And obviously shard launchers not a thing here in Tiberium Wars. So anyways, we will be seeing the Mothership getting focused down here, and he's going to try to get a shot off, but I don't think anything's going to be in range to actually kill this. No, he drops a lightning spike, and unfortunately, the plasma missile batteries are going to do him in. He's going to destroy most of his base here, forced to sell off his refinery on the front lines. In the meantime, Maze is moving around with a Annihilator tripod on the front line, gets the EMP on the drone ship, so denying any additional plasma missile batteries here out from Bert. And we do see that heroic disintegrator squad still causing problems here for Maze on the backside of things, but not going to be too much to worry about. He did lose his drone ship? Or did he pack it up? No, Maze packed up his drone ship and kind of brought it along for the ride here. And the Mothership is very low on HP, but is still alive. In the meantime, just some buzzers and a heroic disintegrator squad running into the backside of Maze's base. Buzzer Swarm support power going to come in and end that threat of the heroic disintegrator. However, Mothership is falling back here, going to get chased down by a lone gunwalker here from Bert. May actually be able to shoot this down. There's really no support here from Maze to keep that alive, and that gunwalker is going to claim the kill. Immediately goes heroic. Wow! Immediately goes heroic. And now we will be seeing the Corruptor support here on this one tripod, going to be so very tanky. And that tripod does go down. A veteran tripod here from Bert. Going to be trying to stave off this force here from Maze, and Maze is going to be forced to cut and run because he just can't deal with this Corruptor support. 7 Corruptors here to heal this one tripod, and now this tripod is going to run forward. We do have a couple of assimilators running forward here from Maze, and unfortunately going to be losing those guys as well. He is going to get the stealth off here. However, EMP comes off on the tripod here from Maze, but continual Corruptor support going to be keeping that alive. So not a whole lot that Maze is going to be able to do with that tripod. Actually gets the EMP on Maze's tripod there, but he's going to immediately try to grab that back, but no, instantly kills off that unit there. Very nice control here from Bert to actually kill that off, and we can see the Corruptor's actually getting some infantry kills. Going to be seeing some Visceroids out on the map. Going to be looking to join the battle here, and they're going to be looking to shoot pretty much everything up. In the meantime, it looks like everything has been cleaned up in the original main base of Maze. And Maze actually may have just lost this game. I don't know how he's going to possibly survive. There is a tripod husk back in the base of Bert here, but Maze has lost his drone ship. At least I think he has. I don't see it on the map. I don't see a drone ship on the map. He's going to be forced to build Devourer tanks now because he doesn't have tier 3. He does have tier 2, but he's struggling for eco as well, which is going to be a problem for him. He's long distance harvesting the blue Tiberium field. Bert doesn't have a whole lot to speak of, but he does still have a build, and that's the critical difference here. If Bert identifies that Maze doesn't really have much of a build, he could look to get another refinery set up on an expansion here. Unfortunate harvester bug there from Bert. Needs to get that back to work. But Tripod is going to be moving in here. Elite Tripod with Corruptor support is very scary indeed, and I don't know how Maze is going to hold this because he's going to need to deal with these Corruptors, but that Tripod is just going to run forward and kill those Devourer tanks. Looks like he's going to try to snipe the power instead. Can't disagree with that. And actually, nice Corruptor micro here from Bert, and he's going to go down. Maze has been defeated, and Bert comes through victorious. So very interesting game. Mothership being dropped pretty early on in the game, and we did see it used a couple of times, a couple of shots going off, but Bert not losing that game to a single Mothership shot. He will sell up those buildings that are in range of the shot and keep himself alive, and then comes through with a tripod that was just simply unkillable as the game went on. 7 Corruptors supporting it, and ends up going elite at the end of the game. Could have potentially gone heroic if it was left alive long enough. But yeah, very interesting game. Bert coming out on top in that game. I honestly thought Maze had it down when he got that Mothership out on the front lines, but unfortunately not going to be able to stand up to the forces of Bert. So very interesting game. Let's take a quick look at the resources tab, and you can see Bert did have an advantage over Maze for a good portion of that game, as Maze did get hurt very heavily on his expansion, was pretty much cut off from mining there, and then losing his harvesters at the blue Tiberium field later on in the game definitely didn't help. But Maze definitely made it hard for Bert. There's no question about that. Bert could have looked to eco a little bit harder towards the later portion of the game as he started to recover, but those late game engagements become very technical, so it's pretty understandable to understand why he would be spending his time on that micro. But anyways, 14 minutes exactly on the clock, and that is going to wrap this game up. Bert coming out on top. But anyways, that's going to be it for me here today, folks. If you did enjoy the game, be sure to head over to gamereplays.org in the link in the description and give this replay a wub. Show these guys some love over on the replay system. And with that said, that's going to be it here for me today, folks. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.